What's your story? What's your sign? It's like we're twin flames in a different life. Deep connection lights a spark. It's like you know me in the depths of my heart. We're dreamers. Don't care what other people say. We're living like this could be our final day. We're dreamers. Don't care what the others say. We're doing this in our way. We come alive in the nighttime. There's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive. We come alive. We come alive. What's your weakness? What's your type? Somehow I wanna know all about you. Deep connection lights a spark. You already know me when we dance in the dark. We're dreamers. We're living. We're dreamers. We're doing this in our way. We come alive in the nighttime. There's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive. Oh, we come alive. We come alive. Oh, we come alive. Tell me that you want me. I can see you want me by the look in your eyes. Tell me that you want me. I can see you want me by the look in your eyes. We come alive. We come alive. We come alive in the nighttime. There's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive. We come alive. We come alive. We come alive.
Hello everyone, happy Friday. How is everybody today? Oh, end of the week, and we are ending on a high note, thank goodness. Thought the apocalypse was about to arrive there, but we've got something to cheer and celebrate today. Major win for Harry, for Meghan, and the squad. So thumbs up everyone, thumbs up Brazen Hussies. Gonna make today a quick one because I'm actually going to my mama's house for dinner. But happy Friday to you all. Yes, Bruno. Let's see who's here today. Oh, almost 400 in the chat already. Yes, Oro, it is great news today. Yes, Prudence, the truth will always prevail. Truth will always prevail. And at this point, you know, you think the institution would just stand down. You've lost. Yes, hashtag Prince Harry wins. Hashtag Kate Manzi is a liar. She wanted to become the next Camilla Tominey, and that's exactly what happened. Hi, Dorothy Ross. Hope you're doing well. All right, let's get straight into it. Welcome, everyone. Um, right, we'll get into a couple of other stories first before we get into the main story. Ghislaine Maxwell just doesn't want to take an L. She's actually appealing the conviction and her sentence. So she's saying that she's been given too much of the blame for everything, and I agree with that, but I definitely don't agree that she should appeal her case. She should still be punished for the part that she had to play, but there are several others that should be going off into a jail cell with her. But she is going to try to appeal. And I just find it incredible how the royal institution seems to have slithered away from this completely unscathed when both Ghislaine and Epstein were so in bed with this institution. I mean, literally in bed in the cabin in the woods owned by the Queen, as this picture here was taken. Um, all I can say is that we know that more people were involved in this, and hopefully sooner or later, somehow, some way, they'll be held accountable. But very rich, very powerful people, and certain people who cover themselves under the blanket of philanthropy. But justice will hopefully come to those people one day. In other news, I can see one person's mentioned it. I'm glad to see somebody has. Yes, condolences, Joan Commonwealth, to the Japanese people on the death of their ex-prime minister. This is very, very shocking, even though he was not in office. I think any time a prime minister, whether in office or previously in office, gets assassinated, that is it's just very shocking. I can't actually remember the last time you had a serving prime minister of any country being taken out like this. Um, and that's a picture of Shinzo Abe at the handover ceremony in Rio. Japan obviously hosted the last Olympics. So yeah, very shocking. Condolences to Japan. Japan's been on my trouble list for a very, very long time, and I think everybody to some extent can appreciate or loves a part of Japanese culture because it's so much of our pop culture. So very shocking to have a former PM assassinated like this. He was taken out by a gunman he was giving a speech in Nara. So the fact that somebody was able to get this close to him, that's quite scary. Um, let's see. Cian Adams, I bet she gets a reduced sentence very quickly and will get out of jail. Yeah, I think even if she does, this is Ghislaine Maxwell, Cian Adams is talking about. I think even if she does get thrown in the slammer, she will likely be let out for good behavior. Um, Dawn, I think the Somalian Prime Minister was shot not so long ago. Oh wow. I hadn't heard about that. Lynn, Japan is beautiful. The people are honest and full of character. Yeah. Verda, this is very shocking on the news this morning. They said that Japan has some of the strictest gun laws. Yes, they do. And that there is only about 10 shootings a year in Japan. And I'm like, we need that here. Yeah, they have very, very strict gun laws. All right. On to some slightly nicer news over in the US. President Biden was giving out medals of freedom. Simone Biles got hers. Well deserved. She has represented the United States beautifully in gymnastics. Pretty much, I think, given gymnastics a popularity that it hasn't seen for some time. Done amazing for women in sport, despite the fact that the grown-ups around her and her peers completely let her down, let all of them down with the Larry Nassar abuse scandal, but she represented her country well still. Congratulations to Simone. And also attorney Fred Gray. When Rosa Parks refused to move to the back of the bus, Fred Gray represented her. I didn't even know this man's name. So great to see him finally getting his medal, getting his flowers also. What a great man, and great that he lived to this honor. Jackie, Simone is my sweetheart, indeed. Indeed. Anna, when you are in federal prison, you put in your full term. It doesn't go by good behavior. That's only when in state prison. El Capote is serving life federal prison. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. That's interesting. Okay. Yeah, over in the United Kingdom, are still trying to recover from the fallout. Larry the cat is just keeping his cool as usual. There was actually a segment on BBC where they just zoomed in on Larry because nobody really knew what to say. So let's just give all the attention to the cat. And what do you say? I mean, the government's literally imploding. A bit of commentary from Social. 4 Seasons Total Landscaping, which is an American company, tweeted, "Boris, come through. We have the site prepared." Now, this was the company that Giuliani, after Trump got voted out of office, decided to stand outside and give a speech. So they're coming in with some humor over from the American side. Facts and 2 cents, tweeting, "Thank you, karma and ancestors. Now to abolishing the monarchy." Carl Sharo saying, "It's great that the British are discovering how difficult it is to get rid of British rule." And Flamin Nora posting, "Me doing my silly emails today while the government collapses." And so yeah, I'm still. I don't know if I could say I'm in shock. I just didn't expect all of this to kind of happen at once, but it's like, one rat senses that the ship is sinking and they all jump, and that's basically what you've got here. The Economist showing Bojo on the cover. And of course, we know that he was backed by Murdoch, as many of our prime ministers are backed by the media oligarchs, Murdoch and Rothermere. Victoria Fielding saying Rupert Murdoch has lost a president, 2 prime ministers, a wife, and a son from the family business in the space of 2 years. Good times. And he is pretty much losing his empire as well. Views and sales are down. So this man has lived for too long in the position that he's in, pretty much just looking like Gollum right now. And we know that there is a revolving door between the royal family, senior palace aides, and Tory officials. They go in, they go out, and they go between each other. And to me, it does say that, to a degree, there were government officials who were involved in the smearing of Harry and Meghan, who were involved in the bullying of them as well. And it's no surprise that nobody from the Tory party really has come out and said anything in support of Harry and Meghan. In fact, they've gone out of their way. I think Priti Patel came out and said that Meghan hadn't faced any discrimination. It's really only Keir Starmer kind of treaded very lightly and said kind of like a half supportive thing some time ago. I think Jeremy Corbyn might have said something. I can't quite remember. But hopefully this is the beginning of the end for Murdoch. He is on the outs. what y'all have to say. Hello, if you're just joining us, please thumbs up. Jungle welfare is a cat security. Well, the cat is meant to kill mice, because I think at one point number 10 did have a mouse problem, but apparently it wasn't really doing its job very well. I have seen it kill a bird though. Ocean sunflower. Meghan was surrounded by, yes, wolves, crocodiles, aliens, scorpions, weirdos, and they are being exposed one by one by one. Yes, clownful. Thank you, Lorna, for reminding everyone. Don't forget to thumbs up. CN Adams, Fox News is crumbling in the US too. Well, it can't crumble fast enough. My eyes. Maverick. He's 300 years old. Goodbye to bad rubbish. Indeed. Oh, I hope that she gets a hefty amount of divorce money. And Marina, and he looks like he still has a few years left alive. Who is even going to come to this guy's funeral? For real. And I hope they don't try and pull all that nonsense about, oh, we must respect the dead. Don't say no. When he dies, I'm going to talk all the ish. All of it. I don't care if you're dead. I heard someone say that when you can't speak ill of the dead, that's how generational trauma carries on. If you were a fool when you were alive, we're going to talk about you as you were when you're dead. I don't do respectability politics like that. Lynn, Murdoch is too evil to die. He'll just disintegrate into dust. Well, I mean, he looks like walking dust right now. Zoe, there is a huge shift coming with all these new conglomerates. Yeah, I mean, media. There's so many new media outlets that are coming up now that I just think that a lot of these older legacy outlets are going to slowly die off. Kevy G, while these old men won't die, Philip held on until Grim Reaper said enough, and Murdoch trying to hide in the ocean. Indeed. Trinette, my prayer is that the British people will finally wake up, rise up, and revolt against this corruption. There's only one way to go from here, and that's up. Oh, I don't know, Trinette. I really don't know. I'd like to say you were right. The level of backbone that's going to take, I just don't know. But somebody that does have backbone, Harry. So Harry has won his case regarding an article that was published in the Mail about his legal claim against the Home Office, and the High Court judge ruled that it was defamatory. So this was the article by Kate Manzi, hashtag Kate Manzi is a liar, that was published in the Daily Mail. Now, the last I checked, and this was about an hour ago, the original tweet when Kate Manzi tweeted about this is actually still up. So there is a chance, just so you know, that the Daily Mail could appeal this. However, last time Harry went at it with the Daily Mail, they just accepted defeat. And I think that really their main gripe is with Meghan. And I think that if this was a case with Meghan, I think that they would appeal it. But I don't think they're going to appeal this. But the last I checked, the tweet from Kate Manzi is still there. So they could just be dilly-dallying with their lawyers and seeing if there's still a chance that they could appeal. But it seems like an open and shut case to me. Harry's won it. Kate Manzi, I guess, was vying for a place on LBC, and it's not going to work out for her. I don't know if she herself will be liable, or just the Daily Fail. That's left to be seen. Whether or not she will be made to personally apologize because she wrote the article and published it, that's also left to be seen. And also how much Harry gets from this, whether or not there will be a payment or they'll just settle the legal fees, that we don't know yet either. But a marvelous win for us today. And this, of course, all ties in. Okay, before I get to that part, let's just go to your comments. Yes, sweetie, very, very happy for Prince Harry and his family. Yes, Joyce, all of the royal house were involved in backstabbing of Meghan and Harry, and we know the names of the people in various situations. Yes, and I'm so glad that we are learning the names now. It's about time. It's about darn time, because they shouldn't be able to continue to hide behind the veil of anonymity. Why? These are very senior people in the royal household. We should know their names and we should know their faces. So no more men in grey suits. It's Tom Baker, Edward Young, Clive Alderton. And we're going to learn more of their names, I'm sure, as time goes on. Time to name and shame them. Joseph, I wonder what post Murdoch, post Drive by Betty UK will look like. Oh, that's a good question. I mean, when Murdoch goes, there's still Rothermere. And Rothermere is not that old. Like, he's still got a hell of a lot of time on him. So I reckon if we don't shut down the British press, or if we don't get the British press in order and in line, then I reckon Rothermere will just take over from where Murdoch left off. Joan, a lot of vultures like himself will go to his funeral. Indeed. Did you know that he blackmailed Charlotte Church, the British singer Charlotte Church, when she was 12 years old? So basically, she performed for free. I think it was his birthday, and in exchange for this, they promised, or Murdoch promised to never write a bad word about her. That promise, of course, make any promise to the devil, was not kept. Charlotte Church, as a young girl, was slandered in the press. They sexualized her young body in the Rupert Murdoch press. And this is why you just don't make a deal with the devil. But obviously, her management at the time did not have her best interest at heart. So just a very evil man. Marina, his bootlickers will show up. Number one bookmaker, Piss Moron. Yeah, Piss Moron will give the eulogy. Yes, Lorna, speak truth about the dead. Sharon, the British media should know by now when Harry and Meghan go to court, they're going to have receipts and they're not going to court blindly. Indeed. And that's why they win every single time. Dawn Robinson, Rupert's like the Queen, they do not die. And they must be drinking vampire blood, baby blood. I don't know. It's just like they won't go. CC, Jerry Hall was going to clear out some Murdoch's filthy lucre in the divorce action. She was married to Mick Jagger back in the day, going to dance when Murdoch kicks off. Indeed. And let's not forget, Harry still has a court case against Murdoch and Piss Moron. Thank you so much, NRB, for the super sticker. Happy Friday to you, dear. All right, and here on the screen, yes, are those men in grey. And this whole court case that Harry has with the Daily Fail and what was written is, of course, linked to the situation with his security and decisions and discussions that were made, and the fact that Edward Young seems to be the one who's responsible for trying to make it look like Harry was lying about the security situation. And so we've got Tom Baker, who is part of Charles and Camilla's household, Edward Young, who's part of the Queen's household, and Clive Alderton, who appears to be part of the Queen's household. So these are the so-called men in grey. And as Harry argued, the Queen's private secretary should not have been involved in the security decision. And that decision should have really been an open and shut decision. But there's other people, even people who no longer work in the household, who've decided to make themselves mouthpieces. The likes of Dickie Donkey Sanctuary Arbiter, father of apartheid Barbie, who I didn't see this tweet that Dickie Arbiter put out. I saw the other tweet where he called Meghan a fling, but I've never seen this one until today, where he said, "Time to move on. No point banging on about a story that isn't going anywhere." And who gave you the authority to say that, Dickie Donkey Sanctuary Arbiter? Who gave you the authority to say that? Do you control Harry's mind? Do you control his actions? And it just shows you the level of hatred that these fools, because I refuse to call them men. They're not men at all. They've got no balls. It just shows you the level of hatred that they had for Meghan, and how far they're willing to go to destroy Harry and Meghan's relationship. They were willing to go as far as putting them and their children in danger. And this is why I'm in this for the long haul, and I know that a lot of people in this squad are in this for the long haul, because I want to see these fools get their comeuppance. They wanted Meghan dead, and they would not lose a day of sleep if Meghan died. They've probably never lost a night of sleep since Diana died either. And it does really make you question, when you look at all of this, Diana's security situation. It really makes you question, okay, she may have said no to taking security because she thought that security might spy on her, but it would seem like, if you're looking at the situation with Harry, that these people would have made things very difficult for Diana to trust anyone. Joyce, either the Queen, Charles, and William don't run their own houses, and if that's the case, they are in big trouble. And if they do, the extent to destroy Harry and Meghan is horrible indeed. Zig, yes, I remember the Charlotte Church story. Good press for free singing. Oh, it was at his wedding. Okay, thank you so much for correcting me. Yes. Joy Bell, doesn't Murdoch have a son? Won't he be able to take over from him? Yeah, I think one of his sons is still part of the family business, but I don't know if he has the same. I don't know if he could command the same presence as his father, and I think that Rothermere would give him a run for his money, to be honest. Joyce, who briefed the woman who wrote the article? Yes, exactly. That's a very good question, because it would have been someone from inside the house. And I don't think it would have just been Edward Young. There would have been another person to give him the green light, to brief against her, and to brief, to brief to the Daily Fail. Lottie G, Harry and Meghan's wedding was based on love, not hate and love. Love would always win. Exactly. And this is what these people don't understand. I mean, they probably all cheat on their partners. They probably all have mistresses. It's just like a normal part of life for them. They'll never know what true love is. They'll never know what it is to be able to capture the heart of a woman like Meghan. I do think that men like this, you know, that's where some of their own anger comes from. It's like they look at her and they just think, my God, I can never. No, you couldn't. Ugh, it's gross. April, May, Harry is sending this message to all of the press. F around and find out. Indeed. F around and find out. Indeed. All right, before we wrap up, I'm going to just end with your comments. I'm going to make it a quick one today. What else did I have before we wrap up? Oh, yes, this. Couldn't help myself. So, it's taking a bit of time to show up on the screen. Just hang on. Okay, I can. I don't know if you guys see it, but it's taken a bit of time for me. Okay, go. Yes. So, Rob Jobson's book completely flopped. Horrible in the ranking. I mean, my book is literally ranked higher than this and has more reviews than this. Only 2 written reviews. And I thought the review that was left was hilarious. It said, I thought I was purchasing a book about William, but I really got a book about Harry. Harry was wonderful as a child, a wonderful cadet, a wonderful officer. Men married the gorgeous Meghan. I stopped at that point because I couldn't find my Daramine. If you're looking for insight into William, the future king, look elsewhere because there isn't much in here unless the author is comparing him negatively to Saint Harry. So basically, Rob Jobson wrote a book about Harry. For William's 40th birthday, Rob Jobson wrote a book about Harry. Because what would you write about William? What has he done? You probably just have one page of all of the PR press calls that he showed up to, and that one thing he did with the air ambulance and the RAF. And that's it. Whereas there's plenty of material to write about Harry. And Kate, of course, with her grinning and grinning and grinning at the polo the other day. But with that, I am done for today. And I'll just get through your comments and then we'll call it a day. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming as usual. Thank you for the super stickers and thank you to the mods. Okay, let me just scroll down a bit. Raven, I want them to all get 1,000 times over all they wish for Meghan. Oh, it's coming. It's absolutely coming. They've chewed off more than they can handle. Seeing Adams, it's interesting they're doing this again, but they did monopolize on Diana's death. It gave them sympathy, which they would have again if those kids were parentless. Yeah. Well, history is not going to repeat itself this time. They're losing control of the narrative. We're gaining control of the narrative. And at this point, I think it's important to remember that they've really only got people in the UK convinced. Most other people in other countries can see that this is all BS. Lit Lane, Evil Edward Young, and the rest of the yellow teeth monsters. The paparazzi to harass them, and they must be on the receiving end. The key is a liar and must be reminded. Indeed, he just needs to go away. Like both him and his apartheid Barbie daughter. Reba, are all the grey men pinning after Harry? This type of vitriol is beyond belief. For a couple who simply married, discussing how they have behaved, criminal. Indeed. I honestly think like these people just think that they're the center of the universe. And it must have hurt them really to have Meghan come into their orbit because they must have just finally realized that outside of their bubble and quite frankly outside of the UK, Nobody gives an ish about your titles. Nobody cares about your false status. Nobody cares about your top hats. Nobody cares about your protocol. You are nothing. You are absolutely nothing outside of the bubble that you can control. And this is their little world that they're able to control. And they're slowly losing control. Cece, Victoria A still lives in New York. We don't want her. UK can have her. Oh gosh. Did not know that. It's over 800 in the chat. Thank you so much. Thumbs up. Joseph, when you don't have the balls to go after Meghan directly, go after her husband and the children. Indeed. Memphis, I feel bad for H&M. They have been terribly scapegoated the more I see. They have been, but do you know what? Those who chose to believe the propaganda, I think, are getting a wake-up call. Because look at what's been going on in the background while Harry and Meghan have been scapegoated. It's like they've all waken up yesterday, and the entire government has resigned. So instead of paying attention to the smear campaign and also piling on, they should have been concentrating on what's happening in the country. Nelson, the Queen is not in charge at all. Well, I think that's been established. The palace is full of vipers who are doing whatever they want. Marilyn Matthews, I still don't get why more of the British people don't speak out against the abuse of Harry and Meghan. Well, we speak out about the abuse of Harry and Meghan, and that's what matters. I think that a lot of people don't actually realize that this is bigger than Harry and Meghan. This is actually about the heart of the British establishment. And I think that that's what people are missing. They're looking at the situation with Harry and Meghan at a very on a very surface level. They're not looking beyond. They can't see what we see. And by the time they do see what we see, I think it's going to be too late. But at that point, it's not going to be our problem. Everett, yes, look who the book is about. What a bore. I mean, I find it funny that he even thought to write a book about him. What are you going to write about? I saw that somebody had given a super chat or Memphis Mummy, thank you so much for the super sticker, much appreciated. All right, who's going to get the last word of the day? Who's going to get the last word of the day? Elaine Parker, I'm going to give you the last word of the day. Have a blessed day, everyone. Have a blessed weekend. It's actually so sunny here in the UK. I'm going to grab myself an ice cream on the way to my mama's house. And wishing you all a great afternoon, evening, wherever you are, guys and dolls. And let's dance our way out. I'm going to bring back the old song because y'all don't like the new song, do you? You don't like the new outro song. So we'll go back to the old one. All right, bye, y'all.
I know I messed it up, but in my soul, I feel a love for you that's out of control. Sometimes I feel like I can make you whole. I just can't change my emotions. There isn't anything I wouldn't do to prove that everything I say is true. And if you let me, I keep loving you. I just can't change my emotions.